time to chat a rising star, and in particular, or in the sport of table tennis. And so we head over to France now, and it's great to welcome onto the show Sisipho. Sisipho, welcome onto SAFM Sports Special. Thank you for chatting to us today. It's good to have you on. Welcome.
Thank you.
Sisipho, you're part of the South African national table tennis squad, been a part of that squad since 2009, and you've secured a one-year contract to play at a club in Paris. Tell us a little bit about how that came about.
Maison Lafitte Tennis Table Club is the club that I'm playing for here in Paris. I came in contact with the club via social networks. We are a table tennis family, so we are well connected. So it was not very difficult for the club to contact me. They read a bit more about me on my blog, and from there, then they were very interested. The president was the one who offered me to come and be a part of his club.
Tell me a little bit about table tennis in Paris, in France. I mean, for them to contract you to come and play it, it must be a pretty big sport over in France.
Yeah, it's quite big. It's quite big compared to South Africa. It's amazing. It's a different world, you know. We've got so many tournaments. It's almost like a professional. There are a lot of professional teams, and the level of is higher, and it's more recognizable than it is in South Africa. So it's really big here.
You must be pretty excited. You talk about the level being a lot higher than in South Africa. I mean, one of the ways you get better in any sport is to play against people who are better than you on a consistent basis. Have you found that your game's improved since going over?
Well, I've been working very hard for the previous 2 months that I've been here, and yes, I've learned a lot, and I think that my game has been better ever since I got here. And I know that in about 6 months or a year, I'll be much, much better than I was compared to how I used to play in South Africa. So I'll be more competitive because the level here is good. I play a lot of matches, and I train more than I used to in South Africa, so it's good.
Well, what a great opportunity and a great experience. Sipho, let's go back and talk about how you got into the sport and a little bit about you as a person and as an individual. When did you start playing table tennis, and how did you get into the sport?
I started when I was around 11 or 12 years old. It was a new sport that came to the school. You know, the principal wanted a lot of players to come and try it out. So for me, it was really interesting because, you know, it looked so simple. You didn't have to make a team of 10 to 15 players. You can just take a friend and you can go to the hall and you can play your player. So it was very simple, and it was very interesting because it was something new that I've never seen before.
Sisipho, I mean, you say you started playing at the age of 11. You grew up in the Eastern Cape, just outside Tata, and in your wildest dreams, did you ever think as an 11-year-old little girl in the Eastern Cape that at the age of 19 now you would be playing this sport when you were first introduced to it in a different country in Europe?
No, not at all. Because at the beginning, it was just something that we all used to play just to enjoy and have fun. But after a while, we started traveling around the city, and we went. We also traveled around the country, so the traveling part was more exciting for me. So that's one of the things that just kept me going, kept on like wanting to win and play more. So I really never thought that at this age I would be in an environment like this.
And it's been a while since we've had a South African playing overseas, and it was about 10 years ago, and that was funded by the national body. This is such a great opportunity for you to sort of further your game and help build table tennis here in South Africa. I mean, yes, you're based in Europe, but you're a South African by heart, and you'll always be a South African, I'm presuming. When are you going to be heading back and sort of transferring some of the expertise you're learning over there now to other players here in South Africa?
Well, I've opened myself to South African teams so that I could be available at any time to go and represent my country for a certain tournament. And in table tennis, we do have some tournaments that take place during the holidays. So anytime from now on, if they could tell me that they need me or they've put me in the team to go and compete for South Africa in a certain tournament, I will be available. And I believe that's the Easy Zone 6 tournament that's coming up in December. So I think I will take part in that tournament. I'm not so sure yet. But anytime that I need to go and play for my country, I will be available.
That's great.
So that's when I'll come back to South Africa so I can meet up with the team and then we can all travel together.
That's great to hear. Sisipho, tell me a little bit about your life in Paris at the moment. How different is it to back home? Has it been quite an adjustment to get used to?
Well, the lifestyle there, first of all, is very different from South Africa. The people are really nice and they're friendly. And the environment is different because it's a French city and not a lot of people can be able to speak English. So it's quite difficult for me to communicate good. And it's a very big city with a lot of people. I'm learning a lot of things and it's very nice, very nice. Everyone is just friendly and welcoming, you know. It's good to have someone new. They've all tried their best to make me feel like
Have you managed to pick up any of the language?
Well, I'm doing some lessons, some French lessons, and I attend them 3 times a week. So I'm learning French basically, and I'm getting there.
Brilliant.
I'm hoping that in about 6 months I'll be able to speak fluently.
Oh, that's awesome. Sisipho, thank you so much for chatting to us today. I want to wish you all the best. And just before we let you go, if someone's listening at home and maybe they have dreams and aspirations of maybe playing table tennis or representing their country, what advice could you give to maybe an 11-year-old that's sitting at home listening to the radio in the Eastern Cape?
Well, I'll just say that, you know, God has all given us talent and opportunities. Don't ever let anything limit you or someone tell you that you can't go up to a certain point in life, because only you can tell yourself how far you can go. So your attitude towards it and every single thing you do is very important. So never let anything bring you down.
Sisipho Muvanyiswa, thank you so much for joining us here this afternoon on SAFM Sports Special. Only you can decide how far you go. Wise words from the youngster, 19 years old, very, very mature head on those shoulders. And what an opportunity, from a young girl sitting in the Eastern Cape just 8 years ago, now playing table tennis in France. What an amazing story. I get goosebumps. I just love hearing stories like that. Fantastic. Want to wish her all the best as well. And that's great news for South African table tennis too. Some great skills being learnt, and those skills will be transferred back here to South Africa. Phenomenal story.